WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It is time for Jim George, professor of the universe, to pop on the radio waves and give us information about things happening in the universe. Like, what was it, 100 tons of TNT? That was an amazing story. Good morning, Jim. And Joe joining us. Let me put your mic on, Joe.
Yeah,
How you guys doing? How's everybody doing?
Morning, Jim.
We're all here. We're all, hail, the gang's all here.
Did you hear that story about the
I did.
The meteor? Yeah. What was it? Was it 100 tons?
That's what you said, Larry. You read 100
tons of TNT.
I heard that story twice.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
I mean, it went overhead us. It went over our heads. Landed in the ocean.
Almost
Thank goodness.
Over my head, so it's.
But I mean, if the trajectory,
yes,
been a little bit earlier, Paddock Mall gone.
Yeah.
I wonder what we would have...
It's just bright sunshine on a Friday morning.
Would we have known? I mean, would we have said that was an attack? Or would we have said, oh, that was...
You won't say nothing. The only thing you'll say is, oh, that's it, gone.
That was a meteor.
It would have been, what was that? All gone.
Yeah, so anyway. So you're going to England. It's so exciting.
The sky is falling. Yes,
yeah.
Yep.
When are you going?
I'm leaving the 24th.
Of this month? Cool.
He's going to do a remote.
March the 2nd.
You're going to do a remote from England? You're going to call it?
I am. On Abbey Road.
Yeah, well, that's kind of hard there to do it from there. It's a little noisy.
How much does a pound weigh?
16 ounces.
I mean, in England, how much is a pound?
Same thing, 16 ounces.
You probably want to know how much is a pound worth. It fluctuates.
How much does a pound weigh, though? So I want to.
Yeah.
We had to use a calculator. Rob and I are putting a children's book together.
Okay, all right.
And the publisher wanted to have us do the math, so we did the math. I hated it. Yeah, we had a calculator. You put the dollar amount in, and then you decide what it's going to cost in England. Mm-hmm. And then if you're going to have a negative number, you got to add more money to it.
Well, there's an app for that, isn't there?
There was a website for it. It was kind of cool, but
yeah.
So do you have an app for?
No. I'm going to use just when I land, I'm going to turn in some money into pounds and shillings and all the other denominations they use, and just pay for it on the economy. You know what is happening on the street.
I can't wait to hear your stories.
How long are you going to be there?
A week.
A week in England.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When you come back,
it's going to call from Abbey Road.
How about I am the Beatles over here.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Well, of course, I'm going to be at a convention, so I'm actually looking forward to learning. But as far as the sites, I haven't gone on to any of those AAA sites and looked at what to see while in England. But some of the people that are going have actually mentioned to me that they have lined up dinner dates and lunch dates and such, and if I wanted to tag along with them, I could. And so since my wife's going with me, it might be a good idea.
Be nice. Yeah,
that would be nice to take your wife to dinner. Yes, it would.
Let the women go shopping and do what and then, us guys, when we're done, we could decide whether we want to do it or not.
You'll see Big Ben.
How many people in your entourage?
No, there'd be two other people. That one is in England already, and I've been corresponding with him, and so he lives about an hour away from the convention center. And apparently the convention center is about 45 miles outside of downtown London.
Oh, my.
That's strange, isn't it?
So what we thought we would do is maybe like on a Friday when I want to call in, we'll take the tube down to London and then do the call-in from there.
Nice.
I wonder if the convention center is a reused castle. Was a castle, and then they made it into a convention center. 45 minutes outside of London,
Yeah, 45 minutes outside of London.
Oh.
So, and I think it's northwest, but I'll look and I'll bring back some interesting information.
So what kind of a convention is it for?
Streaming media.
Streaming media.
Yeah, so media is like any kind of medium. In this case, it's video and how to stream it.
And you were invited to be a guest speaker.
I am.
which is pretty amazing.
We had a story this morning about a guy who sued like 50 cities in the state and a bunch of municipalities and school boards because he's deaf. And they are not putting closed captioning on their streaming of their meetings and that kind of thing. And the cities are kind of pushing back a little bit, saying, well, that's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars. Does that sound right to you?
No. So you can buy a box. I can buy a box. That probably cost me $1,100 maybe. Maybe that's a little high or in the right ballpark. And it will take your voice and turn it into printing.
Okay.
Nice.
So maybe a few words here and there are not right, but
so you have a cell phone, right? You want to text somebody.
Yeah.
Can you speak to your cell phone and it?
Joe does that
all the time.
Joe does that.
So it's an app, but basically
it came with I guess.
But they
came
make
with
a
the phone,
computer. It's and you just basically it takes the audio and turns it into printing. Done.
Yeah.
For close.
And so they're they're justifying something that they could have done a long time ago.
Easily.
I think the guy's got a good point. There's a lot of people who can't keep up with the school board without the closed captioning.
Yep. Very simple to do. It's just a device or an app. But the app has to run on something, so it's always a device, whether it's your cell phone or a server or some sort of apparatus.
And I thought while the secretary was there typing the minutes, because they always have a transcribed copy, that she could simultaneously go on her Word, whatever it is she's typing on, and then be put on the screen right away.
Right, but there again, it has to be translated from one form to another form, and that translator is the device, whether it's a server or something. Something takes that information and turns it over into a stream that can now go on the screen and be seen.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah, but it's very inexpensive.
So, do you think the folks in England will be asking you questions about technology?
Well, there's always a question and answer time after anybody speaks, but I'll speak for 45 minutes, and then there'll be 15 minutes available for either people asking questions or a break time. So in between each thing, they have a 15-minute break.
Are we ahead of them, or are they ahead of us?
They're ahead of us.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe you'll be asking questions.
Well, that's why I say I'm going there to learn, because a lot of countries, already have a form of 5K working right now. Already have 4K TVs working everywhere, going into 8K TVs, and so it's just a question of which device do I need to understand in order to keep up with technology.
How far ahead of us are they with fiber optics over there? Do you know?
Well, it's just an island, and it's very small. Like, you hear people say that we're way behind places like South Korea. Well, South Korea is very small, and you could fiber optic South Korea with no problem. But if you went to fiber optic every home in the USA, you can see how difficult that would be.
Right.
So we're only behind in the sense that our land mass is so large. But they have fiber to the home almost everywhere except outside villages and things like that. But there would be fiber to the village, just not basically fiber to the home. So they have high-speed internet everywhere, and their wireless is better. They have more towers closer together and that type of thing.
Is security one of the things that they want to know about, as far as people hacking into your computers and that kind of thing?
Well, the cyber security is always preeminent in anything you do. I know the other day I forgot a password, and I went to resend me the authority to change my password, and I write every password down. So anyway, make a long story short, it just wouldn't work. So they sent me a redo, and I submitted it, and it said they would not accept it. It was too easy. And I made it / / question mark.
Really?
And they said it was too easy. I said, who in the world would ever come on?
Apparently it was. Apparently somebody else was backwards and forwards.
Minutes, different everything. And then I finally asked for clues, give me some suggestions. So it's okay to put a / or / but put two of them. So 2 / or 2 question mark, because no one would ever think,
except for them telling you to do that and somebody else looking at it like you did, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now my password, instead of being 7, 8, or 9 letters long, was like 14 letters long.
So.
And I'll never remember that. So I immediately sent myself an email and I save all my emails. So I said, my email for this site is, my password for this site is, and I sent myself an email and then saved it in my email box. So if I don't lose my emails, then I'll know my passwords.
I have to write mine down. I can't remember them.
Hey, we were talking about this morning, the fact that if we are all sending letters and everything digitally, are we going to have anything for the future, or will all that stuff disappear? Like, we can look at old letters now. We can find letters in the attic that are 100 years old. Mm-hmm. But what's going to happen in 100 years? Will my email be gone?
Well, I never gave it much thought about the email. It wasn't here at one time. Now it is here. So will it disappear?
That goes along with pictures too.
Yeah,
everything's digital. Go there. When I go to Disney, I wear that little band, and they take my picture and they go beep with the band, and it automatically goes to my phone.
Oh my!
So now I have a picture where I was in Disney. Usually it's there before I even leave the park. Mm-hmm. And okay, now I've got my digital picture. Now, unless I get off my phone and put it on my hard drive or put it on a stick or something, the phone crashes. It's gone forever.
Yeah.
But then you put it on a stick. Okay, you have your stick. Now you get too close to the magnetic field, the stick goes.
Oh.
So you have to plug that in and have them print it out now, if you want them for posterity. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, just like anything else. Mm-hmm. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah, you can lose your memory due to being close to an EMI or EMF, electromotive interference, electrical disturbances.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So
microwaves.
So if we were doing a streaming video, which we sort of are, and somebody wanted to see the closed captioning, how would they have written what Joe just said? He said because the stick goes and
no, it goes. Get it right.
There, the stick goes. How would you write that on the screen? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dot.
Series of consonants. Yes.
It's like when you swear, I get all the little symbols go up there.
Yeah.
Jim, I get emails from this website called 360. It's called.
Yeah.
And I just got a recent one that really intrigued me because I like auto animatronics, but they're going. I think it's Henson Robotics is the name of the company, and they're going above and beyond with this. They put a name to the robot, Sonia, I think it is, and it's artificial intelligence. It's not just like Disney where they program a word and the robot turns and it just says it's set, then it resets and does it again the next show. Well, this robot absorbs who you are and answers you, and then calculates an answer not programmed into her or it. They call it a her because they put a female face on it. And where do you think we're going with that?
Well, if it's always criticizing you, I actually have one of those at the house.
Oh! And he's going to spend more money in England than he's known he's going to spend.
Yeah, you better get a few pounds.
If it's going to, enlighten you and say, "Oh, what a nice day," so.
Well, it does. It does very. I'm trying to save you, Jim. I'm really trying to save you here. It does it all. It'll respond to you. It recognizes your face, but it's because I looked at it and it had different years as it progressed.
Oh.
And it's gotten more. Of course, they have a little one for $200 called Einstein's, about this big. And it's 50 facial expressions, and it interacts with your tablet, and you ask questions and entertains you and educates you and everything. And it's about $200 for that little baby.
Well, that's like the comedian who says, why watch the Weather Channel? You want to know what the weather is? Just go outside.
Right.
I don't really want to stay in the house and interact with something, a machine or something, when I could go outside and interact with people. So I don't think it'd be something for myself, but it could be for somebody else.
Are you going to gamble in England? Do they have gambling?
I have no idea what they have in England.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Trumpets and things like that.
I actually heard that it's not a good idea to win if you're gambling in England.
Why?
Because you'll gain a few pounds.
Larry had a story this morning about...
You set him up? I'll knock him down.
Larry had a story this morning about the Bluetooth wireless noise-canceling headphones.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
And they say that you can hear every word, every note, and tune with incredible clarity.
Well, I want you to know my wife owns one of those because she went to visit her sister, and her husband had one, and she liked it so much, but she didn't realize they cost that much. But anyway, she found one on Amazon or something, a discount or eBay or somewhere, and she bought it, and she loves it. So basically the transmitter sits right near the TV, and the headphones she takes all around the house with her, but normally only when she's watching TV, and it cancels all sound except what's coming from the TV.
Really?
Oh, so
And
she
so
can't
you-
hear
she
you
can't hear you?
talking, or?
No, if I say something to her, I have to say it loud enough that she can hear me. And then she'll pull off and say, "What'd you say?" But I try not to talk to her, of course, while she's, watching a program or such. But it allows her to listen to some of her programs, especially some of her music. And she puts the headset on and walks around the house.
So that's a good thing then for her.
Yeah, it's a very good thing for her because she hates to admit it, but she's getting a little tone deaf in certain tones.
Oh.
Is that the gym tone?
It is the gym tone.
Okay.
And I had that thing you had on yesterday, the PDD thing, whatever it said, where I personally shut off things. So you had one of the people talking about it yesterday.
Okay. It's funny how I forget everything.
Personal.
Wait, I'll think
A little
about
more
it.
specific than personal. That's like. Like.
Yeah, it was where you tune people out, and so it's a personal, whatever it's called, PDD, or anyway, it was one of those acronyms where they use for PSTD and all that other kind of stuff. And this is where you tune.
Okay.
So anyway, this allows her to listen to TV without all the abstract noise.
Oh,
Well,
But it does
those
work.
I've used those. Those are
I have
very,
not-
very good. Yeah,
I have not used it myself personally, but she loves it.
I've tried it.
But
Someone
it was
I know
like
has one.
$200, right? It was very expensive, even on eBay.
Is that how the stealth bomber is quiet? I mean, do they somehow cancel the sound? Do they cancel the sound from underneath the plane?
I have no idea. I know it's got shielding on it, or a form of the way it's designed to, keep radar from, let's say, identifying it. But there are other ways to identify it.
It deflects, right?
So it's a stealth in the sense that normal everyday radar, but they can detect it with all kind of different other ways, and I won't go into those. But
It is sound. You can hear it though. It
if
doesn't
it breaks the sound barrier, I'm sure you could hear it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it's very high. I mean, the stealth flies way high.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, you won't see it fly by.
I would like to see it fly by.
No, Larry had the story about NASA sending astronauts to the moon, and then they're going to camp out there and do different things. Is the signal with them transmitting from the moon to the Earth going to be a lot clearer than when it was in the very beginning?
Probably so. They have definitely increased the frequencies at which interference would not bother it. So, for instance, when the spaceship takes off, there's a lot of heat. They call it that heat plume right behind it. And so we used to lose communication for a while it took off because of all the heat.
Right,
Now we don't do that. They have a matrix, a software program.
Oh, that's
that
interesting.
can cancel out the noise and the interference, and so it's clear while they're going up. They're talking to them clear as the day. There's only that one moment, I think it's when they reach a certain region of the ionosphere where they actually lose for a few seconds. But there will be a delay.
And they must have figured out something because was it Japan or China that has a spacecraft on the the far side of the moon? I thought we couldn't communicate with when something was back there, but they're getting pictures of cotton plants and stuff that they're growing back there.
God.
No, isn't that what they?
No, I don't know what they're sending back from the dark side of the moon. I really can't. I haven't been looking at any dark side. I guess I have to type in dark side of the moon photos.
No, it's cotton plants.
But
You don't believe me?
but they can bounce signal off of things. Remember, they can put something in.
Is there a satellite? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well,
you.
there are satellites in orbit, and all they have to do is transmit to one of those satellites, and then one of those satellites sends it back to Earth.
Oh.
That's as simple as that. We do that all the time. Even HBO, Showtime, and the rest of them, they send their signal up to a satellite. That satellite talks to another satellite, and so on and so forth.
Can you read that headline?
I cannot.
China is growing cotton on the moon.
Okay, growing cotton on the moon. So
Wow.
they
Right.
must-
Right. Here.
Wow.
Let's see. This was updated January 16th, 2019. There's cotton growing on the far side of the moon. The first time plants have sprouted there. On January 3rd, a lunar lander called Chang 4 touched down on the moon, deploying a rover to explore lunar terrain. The lander also carries a container filled with soil and cotton and potato seeds, and the cotton seeds are now sprouting. Isn't that interesting?
I guess they don't need water.
But but I was just curious. I guess that's a picture of. I don't know what that is. But that was my question. Wasn't about the cotton as much as it was about getting the picture of the cotton. Mm-hmm. If it's on the far side. So you're saying they have a satellite that goes around the moon?
No, I'm saying there are satellites that go around the Earth, and all they have to do is transmit to one of those satellites, and it will. In other words, you may not have a direct shot to Earth because you're on the back side, but you would have a shot at one of the satellites.
Oh.
Just think about it. You have two objects that are separated, but they're in line with each other, and there's things passing by in between the two. All you have to do is catch the angle at which you can transmit a direct line of sight to it, and then it will transmit back.
So that is one of the things we still haven't figured out is how to curve a signal.
But keep in mind, frequencies don't need to be line of sight.
Like submarines? I mean, how do the people in the submarines...
You have other forms of communication besides line of sight.
Oh.
Yes, you don't have to see an object in order to, I mean, if you're going to reflect a mirror with light, then that's one thing that you need line of sight.
Right.
But not only can they bounce off of something else, but they can actually transmit into, let's say, dark space, and it will reach Earth.
So that's like submarines then. When they're under the water, they got to be talking to the people on the land, right?
They are. A lot of times, they have antennas that are above the water. They send a line up, and it comes above like a buoy comes above the water, and they transmit that way.
Oh no!
But they can transmit just like sonar through the water. Jim, if he's listening, he could tell you more about it than I can. I'm not all that up on military type of avionics and everything else, but I'm sure he is.
So the other day we had a guy from Yelp on, and he told me that all you have to do is put like a city name and then pizza, and it'll tell you the best pizza in that city. Okay, so in London, England, the best pizza is at Home Slice Neil's Yard.
Well, I may not be eating pizza in London. I plan to eat.
What do you want to eat?
I'm going to do biscuits, crumpets,
all right.
Scones, fish and chips.
All the native food.
Bangers and mash. Yep.
Oh, bangers. Okay. Bangers and mash. Okay. I'm going to tell you the best place to get bangers and mash in London.
In London.
According to Yelp. Ready? The best place is... Oh, there's only one place named on here. You gotta put one in when you get there. Well, there's nothing, Jim. There's nothing.
There's no restaurant that serves bangers. And
what I had talked to this one guy in England about was a lot of the restaurants have gone international. So when you go to a British restaurant, they're going to serve Italian food, French food, American food. They've kind of backed away from their traditional, their food. But if you go to a pub, a little, around the corner type thing.
Right,
like even in New York, you have to go around the corner and you find a little hole in the wall.
Exactly, we've done that.
So,
okay.
They would have the traditional food. So he said, I will show you where to go and you can get all the traditional food you want.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
we're going to one day do lunch at this little pub and next day do lunch at another pub. And my wife and I, we don't drink, but that's okay. We eat. So we're going to definitely enjoy the local cuisine. So I don't want to say I went there and ate McDonald's.
There you go, right.
I don't want to do
But
that.
anyway, the best biscuits are at
either.
Biscuiteers. Biscuiteers is the best biscuits in London.
Biscuiteers.
That's what it says. Yeah, Biscuiteers. Yeah.
So I don't do any of those. I don't do Facebook. I don't do Yelp, Twitter, any of those things. You want me, call me.
I'm just trying to help you.
Oh, I know. But I tell all my guys, don't even text me. You want me? Call me.
Yeah.
That's why they call it a cell phone. They don't call it a cell text with a phone adapter. It's a cell phone with a text adapter.
Will you be here Friday or?
I will. I'll be here this Friday.
Friday.
And then, like I said, I will call you the following Friday, which I think is the 1st of March.
Okay.
I will call you from London, downtown somewhere. I don't know exactly where yet. But hopefully Abbey Road.
We're kind of living vicariously through you. That sounds like
That's
fun.
pretty cool.
Thank you, Jim. What is your number? You want people to call you?
Sure, Lynn, no problem. 854-9795.
Okay. Remember, Jim's the go-to guy when we have questions about technology. So if it's your TV, your antenna, your cable, and you have questions about your reception, maybe Jim can help you with that. Give him a call and he'll help you. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Have a great time.
We'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump this morning will sign the federal spending bill passed by Congress last night and declare